First contact's price. The message arrived on every screen across Earth simultaneously. It cut through encryption like tissue paper, bypassed firewalls as if they weren't there, and appeared in every language perfectly translated. Humanity's first contact with alien life came not with ships in the sky or beings walking among us, but with words that would change everything. To the developing civilization of Sol 3, your presence has been noted. The conclave of stellar nations requires your immediate response. Admiral Sarah Chen stood in the UN Security Council chamber, her normally steady hands trembling slightly as she read the message for the 100th time. The chamber, usually filled with diplomatic debates and political maneuvering, now held a heavy silence. Representatives from every nation on Earth sat transfixed, their attention locked on the holographic display hovering above the central podium. "They've been watching us," she said, her voice cutting through the silence. "The question is for how long?" The answer came 3 days later. The conclave's second message was more detailed and far more troubling. They had monitored humanity's development for centuries, waiting for the moment when Earth's technology reached a specific threshold. That threshold, it seemed, had just been crossed with humanity's recent breakthrough in quantum computing. Dr. Marcus Adebayo, the Nigerian physicist responsible for that breakthrough, sat next to Admiral Chen as the conclave's terms were laid out. His innovation, which had promised to revolutionize everything from medicine to space travel, was now the very thing that had drawn unwanted attention from the stars. "The conclave offers membership to your species," the message continued, "under the following conditions: immediate cessation of independent technological development, supervised implementation of approved technologies, and integration into the existing hierarchical structure of galactic civilization." The chamber erupted in multilingual outrage. Decades of human achievement, centuries of scientific progress, all to be handed over to alien oversight. The price of membership in this galactic community was nothing less than humanity's independence. "They fear us," Dr. Adebayo said quietly, his eyes never leaving the hovering text. "Not what we are, but what we might become." He was right. The conclave's message made it clear. Earth's rate of technological advancement was concerning. Humanity's progress from steam engines to quantum computers had occurred at a pace that the conclave considered dangerous. Their solution was simple: bring humanity under control now, before it could develop further. The alternative they offered was equally simple: isolation. Earth could refuse membership, but would then be cut off from all galactic trade, knowledge, and contact. They would be alone in the cosmos, marked as a quarantined world. Admiral Chen spent the next week in endless meetings, watching Earth's leaders grapple with an impossible choice: submit to alien control or face cosmic isolation. The debates raged across the planet as humanity tried to come to terms with its new reality. But something unexpected began to emerge from those debates. Instead of fear, many humans responded with determination. Instead of resignation, innovation. Scientists like Dr. Adebayo didn't see a choice between submission and isolation. They saw a challenge. "They're offering us a false dichotomy," Dr. Adebayo announced during a crucial UN session. "They believe we must either submit or be alone. But they've revealed something crucial in their demands. They fear human potential. That fear tells us more about our capabilities than any of their threats." Admiral Chen watched as his words resonated across the chamber. The representatives began to nod, first slowly, then with increasing conviction. The Admiral herself felt something stirring in her chest, not fear of the conclave's power, but pride in humanity's resolve. The response Earth finally sent to the conclave was not what the aliens expected. It was short, clear, and unmistakably human. "The people of Earth have considered your terms. We choose neither submission nor isolation. We choose to forge our own path among the stars. Your fear of our potential does not obligate us to limit it. We will continue to grow, to innovate, and to advance. Should you wish to engage with humanity as equals, we welcome the opportunity." Should you attempt to enforce your terms, you will learn why our potential concerns you so deeply. The message was sent. The die was cast. Humanity had made its choice, and now the consequences would follow. But as Admiral Chen looked around the chamber at the determined faces of Earth's leaders, she knew one thing with certainty. Whatever came next, humanity would face it standing tall. The silent stand. The conclave's response came like thunder from a clear sky. Silence. Complete and absolute silence that stretched for 30 days. But it wasn't the quiet of contemplation. It was the silence of preparation. Dr. Maya Patel, Earth's leading expert in telecommunications, detected it first. Subtle disturbances in global communication networks, microscopic delays in satellite signals. They're mapping us, she reported to the Emergency Response Council. Every transmission, every power grid, every digital network, they're creating a complete blueprint of human infrastructure. In orbit, Commander Jack Torres of the International Space Station watched as unknown objects materialized at the edge of their sensor range. Not ships, at least not in the conventional sense, but clouds of what appeared to be metallic dust, spreading out in a web-like pattern around Earth. It's an economic stranglehold, explained Dr. Heinrich Weber, chief economist of the European Union. The conclave's strategy became clear as trade ships from their member species began appearing in the outer solar system. They weren't here to attack. They were here to tempt. These vessels carried wonders, medical technologies that could cure any disease, energy systems that could power cities for centuries, agricultural methods that could end world hunger. All available to Earth if they would just submit to conclave authority. But humanity had already made its choice. In research facilities across the globe, scientists worked tirelessly to push human technology forward. In diplomatic chambers, Earth's leaders forged new alliances, strengthening humanity's unified stance. The message was clear. Earth would not be bought. The conclave's next move was subtle but devastating. Their member species began withdrawing all technological products from Earth's orbital facilities. Systems that had been integrated into human space operations for years suddenly went dark. The ISS lost 30% of its functionality overnight. They think this will break us, Commander Torres transmitted from the crippled station. They don't understand. Humans don't break. We adapt. And adapt they did. Dr. Patel's team developed new communication protocols that didn't rely on compromised satellites. Dr. Adebayo's quantum computing breakthrough was repurposed to create more efficient life support systems. Every blow the conclave struck was met with human innovation. Most surprising to the alien observers was Earth's psychological resilience. The conclave had expected panic, civil unrest, a breakdown of human society in the face of technological regression. Instead, they'd witnessed something unprecedented. A planet-wide renaissance of human ingenuity. Communities organized to share resources and knowledge. Universities opened their research to the public. Private companies redirected their efforts to essential services. Humanity wasn't just surviving the conclave's pressure. They were using it as a catalyst for advancement. Look at what they've done, Admiral Chen said during a global broadcast. They've shown us exactly what they fear. Not our technology, not our resources, but our fundamental nature. Our ability to face adversity and grow stronger from it. Our refusal to submit to limitation. Our unity in the face of threats. The conclave's economic warfare continued, but each passing day revealed its diminishing effectiveness. Earth wasn't just holding firm, it was thriving. New patents were filed daily. Breakthrough technologies emerged weekly. Humanity's progress, far from being stifled, had been accelerated by the challenge. Dr. Weber's economic model showed something unexpected. Earth's economy was stabilizing, adapting to function independently of extraterrestrial influence. We're not just surviving their sanctions, he reported. We're creating an entirely new economic paradigm. As the second month of the standoff began, Earth sent another message to the conclave. This one wasn't a defiant declaration or a diplomatic plea. It was an invitation. To the conclave of stellar nations, you have attempted to force our submission through isolation and economic pressure. These efforts have failed. We invite your observers to witness the results of your policy, a humanity more united, more innovative, and more determined than ever. Your choice is now simple: recognize us as equals, or watch as we surpass you entirely. The silence that followed was different from the first. This time, it carried the weight of uncertainty. The conclave had expected to break humanity's will. Instead, they had tempered it. Stars turned dark. The first sign something was wrong came from amateur astronomers. The stars were dimming. Not all of them, but specific patterns across the night sky. Dr. Elena Santos, head of the Global Astronomical Coalition, confirmed their observations with mounting dread. The conclave was constructing something massive in Earth's solar system. They're building a cage, she announced to the Emergency Council. The holographic display showed a web of artificial structures spreading through the solar system, each node pulsing with energy signatures unlike anything humans had encountered. The conclave's message arrived shortly after. Your defiance exceeds acceptable parameters. Direct intervention has been authorized. Submit or face technological quarantine. They called it the dark wave, a network of energy-dampening fields that could selectively block solar radiation, control electromagnetic waves, and disrupt quantum fields. The technology was centuries beyond Earth's current capabilities, and its message was clear. The conclave could shut down human civilization at will. But Dr. Adebayo saw something else in the dark wave's signature. Look at the energy patterns, he said, pointing to the fluctuating readings. They're not just blocking radiation, they're harvesting it. This isn't just a cage, it's a power source. The implications were staggering. The conclave wasn't just threatening Earth. They were implementing technology that could control the fundamental forces of nature. Within days, the effects began to show. Global temperatures dropped slightly as the dark wave filtered solar radiation. Satellite communications became erratic. Power grids fluctuated unpredictably. Commander Torres, still maintaining the ISS despite its limitations, provided crucial observations. The web isn't complete, he reported. There are gaps, patterns in their construction. Either they're overconfident or they're limited, Dr. Santos finished. Even their advanced technology has constraints. Dr. Patel's team worked around the clock, analyzing the dark wave's effects on Earth's communications. It's like they're trying to push us back to the pre-digital age, she said. But they don't understand. Human progress isn't just about technology. It's about adaptation. In laboratories and research centers worldwide, humanity's response took shape. Dr. Santos' astronomers mapped the dark wave's blind spots. Dr. Patel's engineers developed new communication methods using the Earth's magnetic field, technology the dark wave couldn't block because it wasn't designed to detect it. Most crucially, Dr. Adebayo made a breakthrough. The dark wave doesn't just block energy. It creates patterns, ripples in spacetime. If we can understand these patterns, he didn't need to finish the thought. His team was already working on ways to use the conclave's own technology against them. Admiral Chen coordinated the global response. As the dark wave grew, humanity didn't retreat. They adapted. Cities modified their power grids to work with the fluctuating energy levels. Farmers adjusted their growing patterns to the altered solar radiation. Every challenge the conclave created, humans found a way to overcome. But the true surprise came from an unexpected source. Dr. Weber, studying the dark wave's economic implications, discovered something fascinating. They're expending enormous resources on this project, he reported. The energy requirements alone must be astronomical. This isn't sustainable for them. He was right. The conclave's show of force, meant to demonstrate their overwhelming technological superiority, had revealed their limitations. The dark wave, for all its advanced technology, was draining their resources at an alarming rate. Earth's response came not in the form of weapons or threats, but in a simple demonstration. Using Dr. Adebayo's insights into the dark wave's patterns, Earth's scientists began small-scale experiments in energy manipulation. They weren't trying to destroy the Conclave's technology. They were learning from it, adapting it, improving it. The message to the Conclave was clear. You can't cage human ingenuity. Every barrier you create becomes our blueprint. Every limitation you impose becomes our challenge. As the dark weave reached its full extension, humanity stood ready. They had transformed what was meant to be their prison into an opportunity for advancement. The stars might have dimmed, but humanity's determination burned brighter than ever. Innovation under shadow. Deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, in a facility known simply as the Hub, Dr. Maya Patel stood before a holographic display of the dark weave. 3 months of living under the alien structure's shadow had changed her, changed everyone, but not in the way the Conclave had intended. "We've been looking at this all wrong," she announced to the assembled team of Earth's brightest minds. "The dark weave isn't just a cage. It's the most elaborate teaching tool ever created." Dr. Adebayo nodded, his eyes reflecting the shifting patterns of energy that danced across the display. "Every attempt they make to contain us reveals more about their technology. They're literally building a blueprint of advanced physics around our planet." The Hub had become humanity's response to the Conclave's pressure. A global think tank where scientists from every nation worked together, sharing insights and breakthroughs without regard for borders or politics. The old rivalries had fallen away in the face of this greater challenge. Commander Torres, now permanently stationed on the ISS, provided constant updates on the dark weave structure. "The energy fluctuations are increasing." His voice crackled through the quantum-secured channel. "They're having trouble maintaining stability at the outer edges." Dr. Santos, who had moved her entire astronomical research team to the Hub, pointed to a series of anomalies in the data. "The Conclave is pushing their technology to its limits. The question is, why? Why expend so much energy just to contain us?" The answer came from an unexpected source. Dr. Weber, analyzing patterns in the Conclave's behavior, made a startling discovery. "It's not just about containing us," he explained, pulling up economic models and energy consumption data. "They're afraid we'll discover something they've been trying to control for millennia." The breakthrough happened on a Tuesday. Dr. Adebayo was studying the quantum interference patterns created by the dark weave when he noticed something impossible, a cascade of particles moving faster than light. Not through space, but through the energy field itself. "The dark weave doesn't just control energy," he explained, his voice trembling with excitement. "It creates pathways, shortcuts through space-time. The Conclave isn't just trying to contain us. They're trying to prevent us from discovering their greatest secret, controlled quantum tunneling on a cosmic scale." The implications were staggering. The Conclave's technology wasn't just advanced, it was manipulating the fundamental fabric of the universe. But in their attempt to prevent humanity from making this discovery, they had provided exactly the insight needed to understand it. Admiral Chen immediately grasped the strategic importance. "They built the dark weave to cage us, but they've actually given us a window into technologies they've been hoarding for generations." The next few weeks saw a flurry of activity in the Hub. Dr. Patel's team developed new sensors capable of mapping the quantum pathways. Dr. Santos' astronomers identified natural occurrences of similar phenomena in space. Dr. Weber's economic models projected the revolutionary impact this technology could have on human civilization. But it was Dr. Adebayo who made the final connection. "We don't need to replicate their entire technology," he said during a crucial briefing. "We just need to understand one key principle, the relationship between energy, information, and space-time." Using the dark weave's own energy emissions as a power source, the team began constructing something new. Not a weapon, not a shield, but a demonstration, a proof that humanity could not only understand the Conclave's technology but improve upon it. "They thought the dark weave would force us to submit," Admiral Chen said, watching the first successful test of their prototype. "Instead, it became the key to our next evolutionary step." The prototype was elegant in its simplicity. While the conclave's darkweave required enormous amounts of energy to maintain its control over space and time, humanity's version worked with natural quantum fluctuations, enhancing them rather than forcing them into artificial patterns. As the test results came in, a sense of quiet awe fell over the hub. They had done more than just survive the conclave's attempt to contain them. They had turned it into the greatest learning opportunity in human history. The message they prepared for the conclave was accompanied by a demonstration, a small-scale version of their discovery that even the alien sensors couldn't ignore. Earth was done being passive. They were ready to show the galaxy what humanity could really do. New dawn. The conclave received Earth's message with a demonstration that shook their understanding of the universe. In the space between Earth and their darkweave, a small device activated. It didn't fight against the energy dampening field. It worked with it, creating a harmony of quantum interactions that the conclave's sensors couldn't explain. "Let them watch," Dr. Adebayo said, monitoring the device's performance. "Let them see exactly what humanity can achieve when challenged." The device, dubbed the Quantum Bridge, didn't tear through the darkweave or attempt to destroy it. Instead, it created something entirely new, a controlled field of quantum interactions that actually stabilized the conclave's failing containment system while using only a fraction of the energy. Admiral Chen stood in the hub's command center, watching as the alien monitoring vessels broke formation for the first time since the crisis began. "They're scanning the device," she reported. "And if I'm reading their energy signatures correctly, they're very, very confused." Dr. Patel's communications array picked up a surge of transmissions between the conclave ships. "They're arguing," she translated, her quantum algorithms decoding the alien languages in real time. "Some want to destroy the device immediately. Others," she paused, double-checking the translation, "others are demanding to know how we did it." The answer came from Dr. Santos, who had been studying the conclave's reaction. "We did what they couldn't," she explained. "They've been using brute force to control quantum fields. We learned to listen to them instead." Earth's message to the conclave was broadcast alongside the device's demonstration. "Your darkweave taught us more than you intended. We've learned not just about your technology, but about its limitations. We offer an alternative approach, one that works with the universe's fundamental forces rather than against them. The choice is yours. Continue your path of control and limitation, or join us in exploring new possibilities." The response was immediate and unexpected. A single ship, smaller than the others, broke from the conclave fleet and approached Earth's orbit. Its message was not in the formal tones of the conclave, but in a different voice entirely. "We are the Seekers," the transmission began, "a faction within the conclave that has long argued against the policy of technological suppression. Your achievement proves what we have always believed, that innovation cannot and should not be controlled." Dr. Weber, analyzing the transmission, made a startling discovery. The Seekers represent a significant minority within the conclave, species who've been forced to hide their own technological advances. "We're not just dealing with the conclave anymore. We've sparked something bigger." He was right. Within hours, more ships appeared, representatives from other civilizations who had watched Earth's defiance with growing interest. The conclave's authority, maintained through technological superiority and strict control, was cracking. Admiral Chen met with the first Seeker delegation aboard a neutral station. What she learned changed everything. "The conclave's power structure is based on maintaining technological disparities," she reported back to Earth. "Our breakthrough threatens their entire system of control." The quantum bridge became more than just a technological achievement. It was a symbol, a demonstration that progress couldn't be contained, that innovation flourished best in freedom. The conclave's attempt to isolate Earth had instead created a beacon for change. Dr. Adebayo and his team worked with the Seekers, sharing insights and discoveries. What emerged was a new understanding of not just technology, but of how civilizations could advance together. The rigid hierarchy of the conclave was giving way to something new, a network of cultures sharing knowledge and innovations freely. They thought they were preserving stability, Dr. Patil observed, watching the growing exchange of ideas. But they were really just preventing the next step in galactic evolution. The darkweave, that massive structure meant to cage humanity, was repurposed. Using Earth's quantum manipulation techniques, it became a galaxy-wide communication network, more efficient and accessible than anything the Conclave had created before. As the old power structure crumbled, a new order emerged, not based on control and limitation, but on cooperation and shared discovery. Earth, the planet that had refused to submit, became a hub of innovation, drawing scholars and scientists from across the galaxy. Admiral Chen stood with her team, watching a sunrise that seemed somehow brighter than before. "They wanted to make an example of us," she said. "And they did, just not the kind they intended." The message was clear throughout the galaxy. Humanity had not just survived the Conclave's challenge, they had transformed it into an opportunity for universal advancement. The stars, once dimmed by fear and control, now shone with the light of unlimited potential. In the end, humanity's greatest victory wasn't in defeating the Conclave, but in showing the galaxy a better way forward. The dawn of a new era had begun, and it started with a simple choice made on a small blue planet, the choice to stand firm, to innovate, and to reach for the stars no matter the obstacles.